I am so freaking excited right now. Hi neighbor, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hippie Me. I don't have words. I'm like shaking a little bit. I'm like really nervous and really excited because I'm just like really happy. I need to unbox something. If you clicked into this video, you probably already know what it is because it's probably in the title. But this is my very first Natasha Denona palette. I bought it for myself. It's not any kind of PR. I'm definitely not that fancy at this time. And I've never really been super into Natasha Denona palettes because they're usually so neutral. And you guys know, like, I have 1.5 neutral palettes in my collection. I really love color. She also did the tropical palette. And I'm not gonna lie, the colors there weren't really my shades. It was too bright, too primary, too like just not really my jam. Like I need tones that are a little bit more earthy, a little more 70s. It kind of goes along with my skin tones a little bit better. When I saw the Circo Loco palette, I was like, Natasha, you made this for me? Wow, thank you. I got my tax return money back. I got my car fixed. I did the things I needed to do and I decided to treat myself. So I have the Natasha Denona Circo Loco limited edition palette. I'm going to unbox it, do swatches, and make an eye look with it. I might do 2 different looks, one on each eye. So I want to give you all a good assessment of what's going on with this palette. Is it worth the price? Is it worth the hype? And for everybody who has their doubts about this palette, which does seem to be a lot of people, not gonna lie, including some people who I personally do enjoy, so I was surprised to see them not being into this palette. Can you make cohesive eye looks with this color story? I think that you can. My face is done except for my eyes and my lips. On my eyes, I have my Smashbox Oil and Shine Control, and then the same foundation that I'm using on my face, but I just also put it on my eyes. It's my Tarte Amazonian Clay. Let's unbox this. I've wanted to try Natasha Denona quality to see if it's worth the hype for a long time, but it's just never been the right palette for me, and this one, as soon as I saw it, I was just in love. Hate on it all you want, I don't care. So we've got real good super packaging here. Ooh, it's heavy. Okay, it's inside this cardboard box. It comes in a cardboard sleeve. Let me just check to see if there are any. It doesn't say anything that I can see about pressed pigments. It says creamy matte / creamy powder and metallic / sparkling metallic. So those seem to be the 4 different formulas going on in here. It is weighted. It's like, it's heavy. This is a chunk. I hope I don't have to be too delicate with it. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Here's the package. The holes that everybody hates. There are holes on the back of Natasha Denona palettes because the idea is that you can poke them out and rearrange the pans into different formations if you don't like the way that it's originally laid out. So everybody who hates the color story, just know that is an option you can do to organize it in a way that makes more sense to your brain. I totally get that feeling. The back of it feels like a tiny bit rubbery, and then the front of it is more of a, I think this is plastic. Nice big mirror and the color story. I love all these colors. And I have to say, it's like a little, some of the shades are a little bit less vibrant in person than I thought they were going to be. Like the oranges are a little less, like I thought at least one of them was gonna be like neon, but it's not. There's already a little bit of like dustiness happening upon opening it up, probably just from shipping, but just to note. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes, and the rest are shimmers. I didn't even take that into account when I bought this. Well, maybe Acrobat might also be a matte. It's kind of hard to tell. Acrobat is this dark teal up here. This is what it looks like in person. I'm going to swatch, so let's do that. Okay, my friends, so this is my first luxury makeup item. This is $129, this palette, and I don't spend that much on clothing, on shoes, on anything. To me, like, it's worth it because it's gonna last for years. Whereas for me with clothing and shoes, my size changes, my style changes. I can buy something that's excellent quality, but I lose or gain weight and it doesn't make a difference anymore, you know? So I'm willing to put the money in to expensive makeup, but it has to prove that it's worth its own hype. Just from first touch doing the swatches. Oh, this is scratched already, I swear to God. How is this scratched? It's already scratched. I need to be more careful with it. I really didn't want to have to baby this. I paid so much money for it. It's part of the value, guys. You have to pay, you know, this is how usable it is and how easy it is to take care of. To me, it's part of what makes up the value. So if it's not that easy, then it's not that worth it, but whatever. On first touch, when I was doing these swatches, I definitely feel the difference just in my bare hands between some of the different formulas. And there are definitely some very soft shimmers in here that I'm excited about. And then there are some mattes that are a little bit drier, which if you've been around my channel for a while, you know that dry mattes don't tend to go as well for me with my eyelids. I don't know. I probably just need to work on techniques to use them, but so far, not so good. I'm going to get into actually doing a makeup look now with these. I kind of have a little bit of an idea in my head, but not really. I'm just gonna go in, see what happens. I have an e.l.f. crease brush with a rounded head. I'm gonna start with cotton candy. Oh, cotton candy. I'm gonna start with cotton candy. It's a matte shade. And honestly, this mirror kind of better than the one that I usually use. So I'm gonna use this mirror. So I'm just gonna use that as a base all over, you know? Now, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below on Natasha Denona, on the quality of her palettes. Do you think it's worth the price? Have you used one before? Have you not? Why or why not? Do you have any idea? Is this a brand new brand for you? Especially, like, I know there are some people on my channel who really follow me more for my fashion content. So maybe if you're visiting from the fashion world, is this new information for you to hear about Natasha Denona and her $129 eyeshadow palettes? A lot of people were saying that maybe this should have been a $65 palette instead, but I'm glad that I bit the bullet and went in for the 129 because I needed to try it sometime. I wanted to try it someday. If this is the better formula, I need to know. So that's the only shade in here that I think I can use as any kind of a base. And I think you cannot be much darker than me and use it as a base. Like, I don't think there's a base shade in here for everybody. There's no neutrals in here. This is the closest you get to a neutral, is this very light baby pink. So I know that that's an off-putting thing to a lot of people. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas in my head, so I might do 2 different looks. So just assessing this matte. First impressions. First impressions, everybody. You know, the longer I have this, the more I use it, the more I'll have to say about it. But first impressions, it's fine. It's a matte. It's working pretty well. You know, it's doing what mattes do. The only thing I kept trying to put it like on my eye line, and I can see it getting into my lashes, but I can't see it on my actual eye line clinging there. I definitely see it falling into my lashes though, so you know, we'll see how we feel about that. Next up, I have this Sigma E33 Detail Diffused Crease, and I think I'm going to use Magic, which is this purple, it's more of a creamy matte shade, whereas like Joker, for example, is more of that dry matte shade. I'm gonna grab this and put it in my crease. I'll also mention, since we're in the crease right now, a few days ago, well, like 2 days ago, sorry, this is beautiful. This is blending so well. Mattes are the bane of my existence. I've never had a matte blend this easy. Clock me if I'm wrong though, because this is expensive. I don't want to be saying things about it that aren't true and making people want to spend a lot of money on something they don't have to. Anyway. A few days ago, I was playing with some makeup that had pressed pigments in it. They definitely stained my crease area, so there might be a little bit of that showing through. Oh, effortless. But now see how it's showing up on my eye? To me, it looks a little darker on the eye than it looks in the pan. You tell me, okay? You tell me. All right, next up, I'm going to take the shade Act, this slightly darker purple shimmer, into my outer corner. Very excited to play with the shimmers. I have this kind of fan-shaped brush from e.l.f. So I take, because this is a fan shape, so I take like the corner of the fan, dip the corner of that into the pan, and then into the corner of my eye. Tap 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 tap. Okay. To me, these shades look more similar than I thought they were going to, and I think that that's because that first purple was darker than I thought it would be looking at it in the pan. Now, what I want to do next, I'm going to take the shade Flip. I'm going to slap that boy right on my lid. That's right, folks. That is a soft shimmer. Oh my God. Just putting my brush in, felt like I was stepping onto the ocean beach at low tide or something. A year ago, I definitely could not have even tried working with a palette like this. Not only financially, but my skills have improved a lot over the past year. Not afraid to say that, because I just know that it's true. So I think that the timing of this release also made it really right for me, because now I can actually do the types of looks I would have hoped to be able to do with a palette like this, you know? I'm gonna get a slightly more firm brush to pack a little more of that purple into the outer corner, because I just feel like she could be more pigmented. I think I blended her out a little too much. Okay, I'm gonna grab Fun to Mime, this beautiful mint, and put that on my inner third, basically, of my lid. Oh my God, I love that. Oh, that's freaking gorgeous, man. Sorry, this brush I'm holding is my E42 from Sigma. It's a blender. Ugh, I've got to figure out what I'm doing on this brow bone right now. Now remember, this is also first impression. I don't know how these shadows are gonna perform. I have an idea of what I want to do with them on my eye, but that don't mean it's gonna work. Anybody else in the room know what I'm talking about? One of you knows. All right, I'm gonna take Snow Cone, this nice minty, very, very sparkly shimmer. I feel like Snow Cone and Aerialist Razzle Dazzle Grin are kind of a special caliber of shimmer among the palette. All right, Snow Cone, this beautiful mint, inner corner. Yeah, that's lovely. I'm gonna build up Fun to Mime a little bit more next to it. Yeah, there we go. Keep an eye on this Fun to Mime shade, because for a minute to me it seemed like it had kind of just disappeared. I think to finish this off, well, first some blending. Let's do some of that, because there's a little general confusion over here, and I get it. You know, sometimes I'm not clear about what I want as a burgeoning makeup artiste. Sometimes I change my mind partway through. I'm human, like everyone else, you know? I feel, tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like this purple is kind of blending out to gray, and I don't love that. I also feel like I might just be doing way too much over here. I'll keep on trucking. It's first impressions, it doesn't have to be perfect, in my opinion. Let me get my E05, my best friend, this brush. And I want to use this deep teal Acrobat. I think let me start with it as a liner. This part's gonna take a while, liners always do when I do eyeshadow liners. But I love using eyeshadow to line instead of a separate product, because I can keep the color story right in line with the palette, because it's coming right from the palette, you know? I want to see how the teal looks against the purple. That's what I'm excited about. Do they hold their own? This luxury makeup. Okay, it does. The shade holds its own, I think. I always get real quiet when I start doing my wing. And then you know what? I'm gonna take, tell me if this is crazy, but I'm just tiny dot of Snow Cone and put it like really, really carefully right on the line between flip and act. I just want a little more transition there. Let me know if that just ruined the whole thing. I don't think so, but maybe. Oh well. All right, off we go. Yeah, I don't love how Magic is looking right now, this purple. I mean, that's probably just because I tried to use a purple as a transition shade, but it's just like, I feel like it blended out into like a dusty gray instead of maintaining the purple. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of cotton candy actually to try to buff out the edge of Magic, the purple, and just try to clean it up a little bit. Make it a little more purposeful, what's going on. Since the pink cotton candy color was my base, I'm hoping I can get a little more defined shape by using that. You know, I want these shadows to work together as a team. And then let me get that Sigma E33 out again. Put a little more magic in, but not blend it so much, you know? Okay. I don't know if that did a damn thing, but I'm gonna leave it. And I'm going to play with Acrobat. And Fun to Mime. And last, I think I'll do Act. So, you know, just a little something. So with this eye so far, all of the shades are impressing me. The only one I'm having a hard time with is Magic. The purple is a little lackluster and is a little bit blending out into gray. It's $129, so, you know. I feel like for my bottom lash line, let me bring down Act, Shimmer Purple, and I'll throw some more of Acrobat down there on the inner edge. I'm putting this eyeshadow on my waterline because even though it's not an eyeliner or a waterline liner, because my less expensive palettes, which is most of my palettes, I have often used for eyeliner and waterline. So I just want to make sure that this one can stand up to the test. Okay. Completed eye, I would say. Okay, now for the other eye, I do want to do a different look. I think I want to try to get a more everyday wearable look out of these colors. And for the most part, most people do not consider teals and greens and purples and blues to be in that wearable category. So I'm going to focus on the oranges, pinks, this interesting like gold. I want to see how Firework blends out, this orange, because to me at least, like, oranges can be pretty natural neutral, especially with summer coming. It can basically act like a warm toned brown. Also, I did the same base on this eye before, if you remember, of the pink cotton candy color. Okay, just a nice little orange. Yeah, it's not like a pressed pigment or anything, so it is able to blend out to a very wearable level. I thought it was gonna be like a neon orange when I looked at it online, and it came in not quite that neon. You know, I paid so much for this. As much as I'm excited about the creative colors, I'm also excited about the potential of actually being able to wear some of this to work sometimes. Literally, maybe there's just something wrong with my crease right now that's making this makeup show up gray, but holy God, why is it doing the same thing over here when it's a whole different color with all different undertones? Now I think because I'm going for more day-to-day wearable, I'm gonna make this a little more simple look. Okay, does anybody feel disappointed by that? Oh right, I can't hear you. Sorry. This bougie life is dangerous for me. I'm turning into a biatch. Okay, so again, am I having it happen where it really just doesn't want to stick down toward my lash line? Why are you the way that you are? What is happening? This is my second makeup application of the day, so there might be some residual, yeah. There's a little bit of residual like blackness around my eyelashes from apparently a poor job of removing my mascara, even though there was no more coming off on the wipe. I thought it was gone. Silly me. All right, we got the orange, and we got Hannah's eye being an absolute jerk. Hold on, let me try. If I just layer up some cotton candy right there, cover that up, and then let me pat some firework down, pat, pat, pat. Okay, literally, I feel like I'm going crazy. Whatever. I have orange on my eye. So if this was a work day, for example, and I wanted to, you know, and this is a little fun work look, but I'm gonna go with Grin, which is the gold. I'm gonna slap that on my lid. Shimmers get along with my eyelids a lot better than mattes do, just in general. However, apparently none of these shadows are getting along with my lash line today. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I often, when I'm like going to work quickly, rush, I'll just slap a gold shimmer on my lid and be out the door. So I feel like this kind of qualifies under that category. I think the brushes I've been using might have gotten dirty. I'm gonna grab a brush that I have not used yet in this whole thing because I'm really annoyed with how this is looking on the outside here. All right, I'm gonna grab firework and just one more time. There we go. We'll blend that together a little better. Try to cover up some of that black that's happening. And if you don't layer it up as much as I have had to because of my remnants of my mascara or whatever is going on, if you just have like good clean skin, which I thought I did, turns out I didn't, oh well, then you can do this and it'll be a little more sheer and a little more light because you don't have to build it up so many times the way that I did trying to cover up what's happening over there. Let me blend an edge or two. So now just this, one shade for the crease and outer corner, and then a shimmer for the lid. And I feel like that's a combination you can do with like any of these warm tones, possibly with the silver, with the pink. If you like incorporating a cool tone, I think that snow cone is a really nice, like it might look like silver to somebody and then they'll notice that it's teal and they'll be like, oh, but they won't necessarily be like, that's unprofessional, you know? This is like a nice go-to, not that crazy makeup look. Like this is a little more artsy fartsy, you know, not gonna lie. And my diamond is looking like an upside down lubs. Moral of the story, this is a very, to me, like approachable way to use this palette. Matte in the crease, shimmer on the lid. Wearable. Matte in the crease, shimmer on the lid. Matte in the crease, shimmer on the lid. Red and pink, purple and pink, pink and pink. But then what I would do if you have time, if you want to get fun, if you want to get creative, you know, if you have a brush like I do, I would line with a contrasting color. So I'm gonna do the pink Razzle Dazzle. So pretty, oh my God. I'm not a big pink person either, but like, give me magenta like this and thank you so much. Or even honestly, if you want, a day-to-day look could absolutely be one of these neutral, either like silver, gold, or bronze shimmers, and then a colorful shadow liner like this. There's ways, my friends. It's just like any other eyeshadow palette. It's all about what you do with it. Here, I'm gonna also, just for the fun of it, I'm gonna dip into electric as well. Just like a little kick of a wing, not going crazy. How do we want to highlight, folks? Maybe I can highlight with Spiral. I guess it's not technically a highlight, but just a little fun little inner corner. It's not super shimmery, honestly. It's more like a satin matte. But it's pretty light. I'll pull up Canon. Just a nice little reflective inner corner. There you go. But like I said, for day-to-day, either just one of the more neutral shimmers on the lid, or, you know, matte in the crease, shimmer on the lid, or neutral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the lid, and then use a pop for an eyeliner. You know, just saying, I'm gonna do my mascara and put on a lip, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about my final thoughts on this and whether or not this is worth $129. So I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so here is the final end of the day look with the more creative side and the more wearable side, potentially. This Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. What I'm thinking so far, this is my first time using it, so I can't give a full assessment of it. Definitely want to play with them more, especially this purple magic, and make sure if it was just a fluke today that it kind of blended out to gray, or if that's just how it is. The same with firework, kind of blending out to a brown. For our purposes, it's good because this was the side where we were looking for a more neutral way to wear this palette. But I want to make sure, like just for my own research, if that was just this once and it was mixing together with like leftover purple from this eye that was on the same brushes, or if it will consistently blend out a little brown leaning for you guys. I think if not, either way, you can still get like a nice sheer orange by blending it out, and then that leans in like the bronze tan direction. With that being said, with me talking about these colors that you can use to like blend out and make it more of a light wash of that color to wear it to work, for example, that's all great if you're white like me. It's not gonna act the same way on people with darker skin tones, and I understand that. So in terms of if this palette is worth $129, first of all, that's not a decision for me to make for you. For me, was this worth $129? I don't know yet. I really, really love how soft the shimmers are, and I'm not opposed to the mattes. During today's experiment, I used almost every single shade. There are only two that I didn't touch at all. There's two that I just swiped really lightly over here. I think, they're good. They work well. To be honest with you, they remind me of Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I know he's toxic. I'm not here to support him. I'm just here to say, like, I have one JSC palette, and these formulas remind me of his formulas. So knowing that similar formulas are available for a much lower cost, it means something, However, of course, then you have to be financially supporting JSC, and I'm not into that myself, but it lets me know that there are similar formulas out there, maybe not from JSC, but maybe from other places. I have to say also, in terms of the uniqueness of this color story, as much as everybody's kind of going crazy about this color story, this is not the first and only palette with this color story. I was looking at some other palettes just by accident. After I first saw this palette and this color story, just scrolling through like Indie Makeup Spotlight and other pages like that, there are other brands out there selling similar color stories. So if you really, really love this color story, you don't have to spend $129 to get it. There are other places you can get it. I'm glad that I have this just for me, for my own curiosity about Natasha Denona's formula. Is it as good as they all say? Why is it $129? Is it worth it? To be honest, I plan to do a comparison video with this palette soon, so stay tuned, because that's gonna help me determine for myself whether it's worth $129. Which one is better? What's the difference? Is there a noticeable difference? So for my purposes, being very curious and loving the color story and being at a place in my makeup journey where I'm able to play with colors like this and make them work for me, make them wearable, or make them fun and creative, I think this was the right time for me to buy a Natasha Denona palette. And also, I had the extra money from my tax return. I did get 10% off because I happened to sign up for their email list on the same day that I ordered this. So you get a little 10% coupon. And the Sephora VIB sale is coming up too. So I think that's my recommendation for you if you're not sure about this palette. Get it when you have a gift card. Get it when you have a coupon. Get it when you have points saved up to use, I think it's good. It's not bad. I don't feel confident telling myself or you or anybody that it's $129 good. You know, I need to play around with it more before I say that. But I'm glad that I have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope that this was helpful in some way. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you liked the looks I came up with. Do you have other ideas of ways that this palette could be used, either to be wearable or to be creative or whatever you want? Does this palette inspire you? Does it terrify you? Do you hate it? Do you love it? It's definitely a polarizing palette. Nobody's like on the fence about this palette in terms of color story, and I think that's a lot of fun too. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you and your time and the fact that you're spending your time here with me. I hope that you subscribe to my channel and like this video if you in fact liked it. Yeah, subscribe, join the neighborhood. It's growing around here and there's always room for more. And I think I'll see you next for Fashion Friday, unless I have something ready for whatever Wednesday, we'll see. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you and your time and the fact that you are spending your time here with me. So much love. Bye.